In a world ruled by power, where secrets are sold in the shadows and wars are waged behind closed doors, a former hero is pulled from isolation back into the line of fire. One mission, final, and possibly fatal. His name is Kyle Rivers, a man who lived in the shadows for years after losing everything. A betrayal wiped out his team during a covert operation. He vanished without a trace, until someone came knocking. In a remote, snowy cabin, Kyle lived alone. One morning, he awoke to heavy knocks on the door. 3 men from a private security agency handed him a sealed red file. Inside, photos of bodies and a location of an incident. At the bottom of the page, one handwritten sentence: "The enemy is still alive." Kyle stared at the photos, then said one sentence: "Give me the weapons." This time, the target was unlike anything before. An abandoned military base had been taken over by a militant group known as Red Shadow, led by a dangerous man named Voronin, the same man who destroyed Kyle's life years ago. A special team was formed for the mission, with Kyle in charge. The team included Gina, a systems hacking expert, Ramirez, a professional sniper, and Ozzy, a demolition specialist. The plan: infiltrate the base through underground tunnels, then launch a surprise attack to stop the launch of an experimental missile capable of wiping out an entire city. Time available, 12 hours only. The team moved through old tunnels beneath the facility, only to be met with a deadly trap. A massive explosion rocked the passage. Ozzy was fatally wounded, but sacrificed himself to save the rest. Kyle froze for a moment, guilt washing over him, but Gina shouted, "We can't stop now! We keep moving!" They pushed forward with heavy hearts, determined to finish what they started. Just before reaching the control room, they were ambushed by mercenaries. A brutal fight broke out. Ramirez was captured and Kyle was forced to retreat. Through the loudspeakers, they heard the enemy leader's voice. "Come alone, or I launch the missile!" Kyle didn't hesitate. He surrendered himself and walked straight into the lion's den. Inside the massive control chamber, Kyle came face to face with the man who haunted his past. Voronin stood tall, cold eyes, with the same smug tone Kyle remembered. "I knew you'd come," he said. "Work with me. Join the new world we're building." Kyle replied calmly, "I didn't come to negotiate. I came to end this." A fierce fight erupted between them, surrounded by alarms and flashing red lights. Fists flew, weapons clashed, and sparks filled the room. Voronin was stronger and armed with enhanced gear, but Kyle had one advantage: nothing to lose. With a hidden blade tucked in his boot, Kyle struck a fatal blow to Voronin's chest, ending the fight once and for all. But it wasn't over. The missile was already armed. Kyle dragged himself across the control panel, his body bloodied and shaking. Everything was encrypted. From the outside, Gina guided him step by step. Seconds remained. With one final motion, Kyle severed the final connection, disabling the launch with just 1 second to spare. Explosions began tearing through the facility. Kyle sprinted through fire and smoke, leaping through a ventilation shaft. A helicopter swooped in just in time, lifting him away as the base collapsed behind him in flames. Rain fell over the city. From the rooftop of a tall building, Kyle stood in silence, staring down at the glowing skyline. His face was tired, his eyes distant. Gina called through the radio. "What now?" He replied, "I'll rest for a while, then disappear again." But deep inside, Kyle knew. The war never ends, and somewhere out there, the next mission is waiting.